delivering the promised emissions reductions.
So they're kind of like the watchdogs.
Yeah, exactly. They're making sure that the carbon credits are legit and that the money is going where it's supposed to go.
Okay, that's super important.
It is, and this is where blockchain technology comes into play.
Ah, there it is again.
Right. By recording carbon credit transactions on a blockchain, you create a permanent and tamper-proof record that can be accessed by anyone.
So it's like the ultimate truth teller.
It helps to prevent fraud and double counting, ensuring that the carbon market is functioning properly.
Okay, blockchain really is a game changer in so many ways.
It is. It's exciting to see how it's being applied to address such a critical issue as climate change.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about a lot of the, positive aspects of Agritech.
Right.
But what about some of the potential downsides? Are there any things we should be concerned about?
Yeah, that's an important point. Technology is a powerful tool, but it's not a silver bullet.
Right.
We need to be mindful of the potential risks and unintended consequences.
Like what?
Well, one concern is data privacy. With all of this data being collected about our farms, our crops, and even our consumption habits, we need to make sure that this information is being used responsibly and ethically.
So we don't want to become like,
Right.
data slaves to the Agritech overlords or something.
Yeah, exactly. We need strong data privacy regulations and ethical guidelines to ensure that our data is being used to benefit us, not to exploit us.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Another concern is the potential for job displacement.
Oh, yeah, because if farms become like fully automated,
Right.
then what happens to all the farmers?
Exactly. As farms become more automated, there is a risk that some jobs will be lost.
Yeah.
And it's important to think about how we can create new opportunities for workers who may be displaced by automation.
Right.
Perhaps we need to invest in training programs for new types of jobs in the agritech sector.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's not just about, creating the technology, it's about making sure that it benefits everybody.
Exactly. And we also need to be mindful of the potential for exacerbating existing inequalities.
Right.
We need to make sure that access to technology and information is equitable so that smallholder farmers and marginalized communities are not left behind.
So we don't want to create like a, two-tier
Yeah.
system where only the big guys can afford.
Exactly. It's about creating a level playing field where everyone has the opportunity to benefit from these advancements.
I like that. So it sounds like, there's a lot of potential for good,
Yeah.
but there's also some potential pitfalls that we need to be aware of.
Right. We need to be proactive in addressing these challenges rather than waiting for problems to arise.
Absolutely. I think that's a good way to kind of sum up this whole conversation.
Yeah.
So we've seen how Agritech is being used to protect ecosystems, restore forests, monitor biodiversity, and even address climate change.
It's pretty amazing to see how these technologies are being applied in the real world.
It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie.
It really is.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, I want to touch on one more aspect of Agritech that we haven't talked about yet,
Okay.
and that is the role of government and regulation.
Right.
Because, we can't just let the tech companies run wild.
Right.
We need to have some rules in place.
We do. Governments play a crucial role in shaping the agritech landscape.
Okay.
They can support innovation through funding for research and development, create incentives for adoption of new technologies, and establish regulatory frameworks that ensure safety and protect consumers.
So it's about finding that balance between,
Yeah.
encouraging innovation and also protecting the public. Yeah.
For example, governments need to think carefully about how to regulate the use of drones in agriculture, balancing the benefits of increased efficiency with the potential risks to privacy and safety.
Right, because you don't want a drone
Right.
spying on you in your backyard.
Exactly.
And what about data privacy? I mean, we talked about the importance of protecting our data. What can governments do in that area?
Yeah, governments can enact strong data privacy laws that give individuals control over their personal information and prevent companies from using data in unethical or harmful ways.
Okay.
They can also invest in cybersecurity measures to protect against data breaches and cyber attacks.
Right.
So it's about creating a regulatory environment that fosters trust and innovation.
And it's about making sure that the benefits of Agritech are shared by everybody,
Exactly.
not just a select few.
Right.
Okay. I think this conversation has really highlighted the importance of collaboration between government, industry, and researchers to create a future where Agritech benefits everyone.
I completely agree. It's an exciting time to be involved in this field, and I'm optimistic about the future of agritech.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really inspiring to see how technology is being used to
Yeah.
solve these really big problems
It is.
and create a better world.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to leave it for this part of our deep dive.
Yeah, I think so.
But don't go anywhere, because we're going to be back for our final segment where we're going to kind of like tie everything together
Right.
and leave you with some food for thought. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the show, everyone, for our final segment of this Agritech deep dive.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we've gone from AI-powered farm management to drones planting entire forests. It feels like we've taken a trip to the future of food.
I know. It's crazy.
And it's not just about, increasing efficiency and yields. It's
Yes.
about sustainability, transparency, empowering consumers.
Right. It's about, like you said, creating a food system that's good for people, good for the planet, and ultimately good for business.
Absolutely a win-win-win for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay,
So before we wrap things up, let's do a quick recap of those 4 pillars we talked about,
sounds good to me.
just to bring it all together.
All right, so first up we had deep learning and AI, analyzing those satellite images and changing how we actually monitor farms.
Right.
We talked about CNNs, those powerful algorithms that can recognize crop-type signs of disease.
Yeah.
And then there were those digital twins, those virtual replicas of farms that let you play out all sorts of scenarios and optimization strategies.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like SimCity for farms.
Exactly.
Okay, so then we talked about traceability, using blockchain technology to track every step of the food's journey from farm to fork.
Yep, making sure our food is safe, building trust with consumers, and helping companies meet those ever-increasing regulations.
Right, and then we talked about automatic optimization, which is basically using AI and data to fine-tune every aspect of food production.
Yeah, maximizing yields, minimizing waste, and creating a more efficient and sustainable system.
Right, less waste equals lower prices. So I'm all for that.
Exactly.
And then finally, we talked about agentic marketing.
Yes, using technology to communicate those sustainability efforts and connect with consumers who really care about those issues.
Right, it's all about transparency, authenticity,
Yeah.
and giving consumers the power to make informed choices.
Absolutely. And we saw how companies are getting creative with this, using everything from QR codes to gamification to tell their sustainability stories.
It's amazing how technology is being used to not just change how we produce food, but also how we think about it and how we connect with it.
It is, and I think that's what makes Agritech so exciting. It's not just technology for technology's sake.
Right.
It's using it to solve real-world problems and create a better future.
For everyone.
For everyone, exactly.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what is the one big takeaway that you want our listeners to remember?
I think the biggest thing is that Agritech is more than just robots and drones. It's a powerful force for positive change. It has the potential to completely transform our food system and create a more sustainable, equitable, and delicious future for everyone.
I love that, a more delicious future.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to end it.
I think so too.
So thank you everyone for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of Agritech. Keep those questions coming, and until next time, stay curious.